Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. As you can see, a beautiful day here in Metro Atlanta. We have record warmth that has taken us through the work week, and now we are headed into a warmer than usual weekend, and it is Halloween weekend for many of you. So if you have plans, this is great news. Make sure you have the First Alert weather app downloaded and enjoy the warmer than normal temperatures. This is in case you missed it, where we get you caught up on some stories you may have missed making news in and around Metro Atlanta. I want to start with this one. A major ruling in a case tied to former President Donald Trump, of all people. 3 of former President Donald Trump's co-defendants in the Fulton County election interference case denied bids to move their case to federal court. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is outside the Fulton County District Attorney's office downtown with the latest on what this means.
First of all, this is a big win for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. It appears that they can move forward with these cases right here in Georgia. The 3 people we're talking about, take a look. Their pictures on your screen right here. Their names, David Shafer, Shawn and Cathleen Latham. They are just a few of the dozens of indictments accusing former President Trump and his allies of trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. In their appeal, the 3 argued that they were charged with conduct stemming directly from their service as Republican presidential electors, acting with federal authority at the direction of Mr. Trump, counsel for his campaign, and federal officers. Here's what some of those arguments sounded like in one of their court proceedings nearly a year ago.
As the result of telling somebody or prosecuting somebody for saying something about an election that a DA disagrees with is terribly, terribly dangerous in our society. We're going to allow the discourse. We're going to allow the statements, even if they're false, because somebody's false statement is another person's truth.
So like we said, the appeals court for the Northern District of Georgia denying that appeal, saying in part that electors do not perform functions on behalf of the United States as a whole. Electors serve the interests of only a single state. States appoint them to vote as representatives of that state, not the federal government. So at this point, we'll have to see where the DA's office, how they move forward with this case. We're downtown. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And we are 11 days away from Election Day. Millions of early voting ballots have already been cast, with now just a little more than a week left. The margins are razor thin between 2 presidential candidates in multiple battleground states as they race to win over last-minute undecided voters. Yesterday, former President Donald Trump kept the focus on his key campaign issue: immigration. He held rallies out west while Vice President Kamala Harris brought star power right here to Georgia, appearing with former President Barack Obama. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest.
For the first time, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Barack Obama took the campaign stage together, rallying in front of a Georgia crowd yesterday.
There's a choice that everybody has. It's either Donald Trump in there stewing over his enemies list, or me working for you.
The 2 highlighted reasons folks in the battleground should vote for Harris, rejecting former President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris doesn't have concepts of a plan. She got a plan to make your life better.
The star-studded rally also featured appearances from rock legend Bruce Springsteen and movie legends with ties to the Peach State. Out west, Trump spent the day focused on immigration, speaking to voters in Arizona.
We're like a garbage can for the world.
And in Nevada, he denied his former chief of staff John Kelly's account that he praised Adolf Hitler's generals while in office.
No, I never said that. I would never say that.
Today, Texas takes center stage, Trump in Austin and Michigan, while Harris will focus on women's reproductive rights in Houston. Jared Hill, CBS News.
All right, so a lot to think about. If you haven't cast your ballot yet, please go do so. But this is in case you missed it. So we're going to keep things moving along. I have our Atlanta News First morning anchor, Brooks Baptiste, here with us with a few more stories you may have missed.
Hey, good morning to you, Maria.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. We made it, inching closer to the weekend. Now, one of the big events happening here in Atlanta this weekend is One Music Fest. And you may remember just a couple of days ago, we talked about how Cardi B will no longer perform at the event. Well, look, we're learning that Lotto, which is from Clayton County, she's a native, and of course the rapper, she's going to be performing at the festival. So One Music Fest making this announcement last night on social media. Just earlier this week, we talked about Cardi B canceling her appearance after suffering a medical emergency. We still don't have many details regarding what this emergency is, how she's doing. But again, once we learn those details, we'll be sure to bring them to you. One Music Fest set to kick off tomorrow at Central Park. It'll run through Sunday. And the lineup is just killer. Okay, we're talking about Gunna, Victoria Monet, Glorilla, Ari Lennox, Jill Scott. And for the folks who like a little funk, Earth, Wind, and Fire is going to be there as well. That part is a little interesting to me because, when you hear all of the things, Maria, you're thinking, okay, Ari Lennox, Victoria Monet, Jill Scott, that's a little bit before the Ari Lennox and Victoria Monet days and whatnot. But then Cardi B, when she was on there in Lotto. But then Earth, Wind, and Fire is thrown in there. But young people do know good music, and they want to see Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Brooks, I went to see Earth, Wind, and Fire in Florida.
What?
All right, they still got it. Okay,
Oh, you better know it.
It doesn't matter what age you are. If
Yes.
you haven't followed them much, you're gonna have a good time with Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
For sure, I could agree with that. All right, so we have to talk about Halloween because it'll be here next week. What day is it today? It's the 25th. So yeah, it'll be coming up next week. So a lot of people excited about that. My son is excited about his costume. It just came in the mail. He's going to be Bluey, by the way. But there are some other Halloween costumes that we want to tell you about. Google releasing this year's most trending Halloween costumes, and according to the online search data, the top 25 costume ideas include Shrunken Head Bob and Dolores from Beetlejuice, Reagan the Breakdancer, Dr. Doom, singer Sabrina Carpenter, Lady Deadpool, and this is probably the craziest one, Maria, a Chipotle burrito.
Now,
how are you supposed to become that?
look, the youth today, they got a whole different thing going than
You know
when
what?
we were kids.
No, I'm not even blaming that on the kids. That's the parents, because there is no way that my child is going to be a burrito unless, let me hush. If he wanted to be a burrito, he can be a burrito. But,
Hey,
no, he can't be burrito.
Bluey all the way.
He can be Bluey all the way, though. I love Bluey for sure.
And for those of you who follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we are asking what your Halloween costume is this year. So do let us know. We want to hear all the different burritos, break dance, or whatnot that you
Please.
may be coming up with.
And if it's a burrito, just go on and keep it to yourself. I'm just
Fair
teasing you.
enough.
Leave a comment there for sure.
Thanks
Maria.
so much, Brooks. Thanks for joining us on this edition of In Case You Missed It. One final look outside as we ring in the weekend here shortly. Closing out Friday strong. Make it a great day.